anymore, right? So I think like my view of what the ideal is I think the ideal for a zkVM implementation is for it to be configurable and support all the types, right? Like I think an ideal zkVM would have settings so that if you want, you can turn it on to run with a Ketchiak Merkle Patricia tree, and then it can verify Ethereum blocks, or you can set it to run with some more zk optimized stuff, and it'll be more efficient for you. It'll have like might even have different precompiles, and depending on what you want, and you'd be able to kind of choose, how to what extent you want compatibility and to what extent you want efficiency, and like that could be that should be more of a project by project choice. And I think it should be possible to make zkVM implementations that kind of like make it possible to hit all sides of that. And I feel like it probably shouldn't be too hard to do that if you're like starting from the higher types and moving toward the lower types, right? Because you had your previous code anyway, right? So you just kind of make it open either way.
Thanks. One of the things that I want to add here is I did myself the exercise of saying, okay, you get all this technology because when you're doing this, you learn a lot. It's just a challenge every week. And it's like, okay, with this technology, if you want to do, okay, forget about being Ethereum compatible, and let's try to do an efficient rollup. And let's see how we would do it. And the interesting thing is that I would not change many things. The way that we were able to optimize, there are things that probably, yes, I know there are things like memory alignment, things that are a little bit tricky in Ethereum, and probably I would remove some of these pieces, but not that many. The way that we are computing, for example, arithmetics in different prime field, the way that we are computing Ketchiaks, the way that we're computing hash functions, the way that we are working with the storage, the way that we are executing the programs. And it could be some differences, but it should not be. It's much less that you may think when you start it. And that's because the rate of optimization that we get just and being compatible. So for us, the requirement is, okay, we want to be Ethereum compatible. So that's the specification. So let's see what we can do on that. And we learn that much in this process so we come up to some really good tricks and really good algorithms that, okay, this is even better than if we were doing something different to that. So that's a little bit the conclusions that we're getting there. Of course, there are things said, it's a spectrum of things we should go like piece by piece, but in many pieces it should not be very different.
Thanks a lot, guys. I would have so many questions in addition to this, but maybe let's just touch on one and then we can slowly wrap it up because we have to adhere to the schedule, I guess. We are very happy that we deliver this, right? And we believe we are generally mainnet ready, right? We have multiple external audits, multiple internal audits. We have testnet that has been running for months, and all of that. But still, it's very important to say that this is very complex technology. This is new technology that hasn't been delivered before, and it's important to be responsible, right? With that in mind, Vitalik published another post where he speaks about proposed basically milestones for zkVM rollups or rollups in general when it comes to introducing or slowly removing some sort of training wheels and security measures. So I know we have a basic security focused panel in a while, but if you can just one sentence maybe share your thoughts also about maybe this Vitalik's proposed roadmap or model, and just anything in general about zkVM when it comes to this responsible.
Yeah, sure. So I think